Hi, Colleen. I'm so excited to have you on Power Women Wellness. How are you on this Monday?
I'm wonderful, and I feel so honored to be here. Thank you so much for reaching out and including me on your podcast.
Yes, we're going to start off with you sharing with us, what do you do? What got you into creating this business that you've created?
Well, for the past decade, I've been a stay-at-home mom. And before that, I had several different careers. I'm kind of a Renaissance woman. I grew up in the Midwest. I went to college in the Midwest and I studied business. And then I got into for a part-time job. I'd work at different makeup counters at the mall, like Chanel and MAC and Bobbi Brown, and I really took an interest to makeup artistry. And slowly that evolved into skincare. So after I got my degree, I went back to school to become an esthetician. And so I started working with skincare. And back then, this is 20 years ago, aesthetics and skincares was pretty much facials, and it was more about relaxation, massage, like not
Yeah.
really treating the skin on a deeper, more intense level. There was a little bit of extractions. You might do a
Yes.
little gentle peel or, a cooling mask, but it wasn't like the industry that it is today that I love and I'm so excited about. There's just so much more out there. The whole industry has evolved. So after that, I got married and I had my kids, and I was so fortunate that I could stay home with them. They're amazing. I have two kids and now they're in middle school. So it's kind of freed up some time for me where I'm like, what's next? Because I'm just not
Yeah.
one to sit around and just like hang out by the
Yeah.
pool, work out, go to lunch with my girlfriends. Occasionally I like to do that, but I can't do that every day and
Yeah.
just sit and read a book and just like sit in my house. So I wanted to start to, figure out something for me. I've always loved skincare, and people that know me, like my old friends and my family, know that I always wanted to start a skincare line, but I never really knew what that meant or what that looked like.
Yeah.
So a year and a half ago or so, I just started looking around, looking at manufacturers, looking at, you know, um, different ingredients, definitely studying product line, things that I'm drawn to, things that are really popular right now, and just kind of doing my research. And I had always assumed that I'd create a line that was, for me and my girlfriends. I'm in my early 40s. And what I realized is we're really loyal to our brands. Our brands have been around. We don't need another one. And what I certainly was not going to do is start a brand that was something that I'd have to sell to my friends. Like,
Yes.
those product lines and those people
Yes.
where it's like you feel so pressured. I was like, I'm not doing that. So the more I investigated, the more I realized that there's this younger generation, right? Gen Z. I'm a
Mhm.
millennial.
I'm a
And
millennial too.
they really, you don't look like it. You look so young.
I actually have a middle schooler. He's 13. Um, and actually, no, I'm not like I am into skincare now. I didn't always used to be. So I appreciate what
Right?
you do.
Right?
But I'm 30, I'm turning 32 this year.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you are still very young compared to me. You look amazing.
Thank you.
You look 25.
I'll
So,
take it.
and I was the same way as you. Like our generation, we didn't care about SPF. We
Yeah.
didn't, I can remember putting like Crisco on with my girlfriends and like laying on my parents' roof to like get as much sun as possible, right? We're going out to bars, we're smoking cigarettes, like we're going to bed with makeup on. Like we didn't have these
Yeah.
like 12 steps nightly skincare routines that a lot of these younger people do. So I just started noticing that this younger generation coming up, like they really care. They're
Yes.
researching ingredients. They're really experimenting with what works for them, what's effective to them. They're noticing earlier on discoloration, fine lines, hyperpigmentation, sensitivities, even breakouts into their 20s in different areas. So they're really like, I really commend them for doing so much research. And then I also noticed, which we've come around to as well, is, they shop online. They are like click, 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 buy there. And so what I realized my platform is, I was able to work with a manufacturer and partner with a dermatologist. So my line of skincare, SkinRx, is medical grade skincare, which means it has the highest concentration of active ingredients on the market.
I love that. I will say, I looked at your website and I do love the ingredients. Like, that's hard to find nowadays. Well, maybe not. I do believe it's growing. But there's still like the big prominent brands out there still use really problematic ingredients. And obviously with what I do, helping women with their hormones and their digestion and utilizing food as medicine, but we also talk about like what you're putting on your skin, because we do see hormonal issues. And so when I looked at yours, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, because these are all like really great ingredients and it is getting more common, but I don't know, you're still like, I think on the brink of creating a brand that people are going to love because, you're not putting problematic ingredients in it.
You're absolutely right. And it goes so much in line with what you're focused on. This younger generation, they not only care about what they're putting on their body, but in their body. I mean, it really goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So that's just becoming like mainstream. So my products, you're right, you can find things with the same active ingredients, right? Very similar formulations. But the difference is a lot of those products that they sell at the Medi Spa or a plastic surgeon, well, they mark theirs up. They have a lot of overhead, right? They've got a big fancy office, expensive doctors and nurse practitioners, and a whole staff of beautiful people, and beautiful office with chandeliers and all this stuff. So they mark their products up, astronomically, where everything that I'm doing, like me here right now on my laptop, this is my overhead. Right. This is my, brick and mortar, which does,
we get the benefit.
I don't have. So I don't have to mark them up as high. So what I like to say is my product line, SkinRx, is like an entry level medical grade skincare line.
Love that.
A lot of these people, it's like you said, there's a lot of brands out there and a lot of different ingredients, and a lot of it's marketing, and a lot of people are reading about it. They're seeing the trends. They're seeing it on TikTok. They're seeing influencers promote it. They try it. The packaging's beautiful and colorful and exciting. They try it and they're not seeing the results because it's all marketing, and they don't actually have the proper amount of ingredients or formulations to really give you the effect. So when you're ready to take that next step of like, okay, I want something higher quality. I want something at the next level, like something that's going to give me those results. Like, okay, I've researched retinol. I've looked at it. I've tried this one, I won't name names, but stuff you find at Ulta that people say, everybody says it's so great. You try it and you're not seeing the effects. Okay, well, now I'm ready to try one that costs a little bit more. Now I can't afford the retinol at the plastic surgeon's office. So what else I'm noticing is a lot of these Gen Z and people that care about what they're putting in and on their bodies, they are going to the doctor's offices, the Medi Spas, and they're getting the Botox, the fillers, the injectables, which cost thousands of dollars. While they're still starting off in their careers. So they're not really at the price point that then once they walk up to the counter after they've spent X amount on filler, and then they say, hey, would you like to buy this moisturizer for $150? They're like, no.
Right. Yeah.
But then when you go to SkinRx, okay, look at, the ingredients. And this one's $44. That I can afford.
Yeah,
that I
very
can
doable.
invest in. And I'm going to get the same results, and I'm going to see results, and I'm going to enjoy the product. I like the way it smells. I like the texture. So that's what my platform became, and that's the white space that I
Amazing.
found myself in, which I launched about 6 months ago. So it's still very new, and I'm still just like getting the word out.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And I'm excited to see how you use your own product and like your day to day and your routines. So we'll start off with like just morning time. Like, what are you eating? What is your skincare? What does that look like in the morning? Other things that you do as you're like in this startup phase of building your business, and obviously being a mom, like I get it. I'm right there with you. So like what do you do in the morning to take care of yourself so you are able to, go about your day and get stuff done?
Well, full disclosure, I'm always honest. I'm always upfront. People know that about me. My kids always come first. So when I wake up in the morning, it's not like, oh, hold on, I need to get my coffee. I need to make my shake, whatever. I need to make sure you get up, you get breakfast, you brush your teeth, you get to school. I am the mom that's driving to school in a robe,
Me
haven't
too.
brushed my teeth, hair's a mess. I throw on some sunglasses to try to hide. And I haven't done a single thing to myself because I need to make sure that they're up and they're ready for their day. That's my priority. Once they're off to school, I can come home. First thing I do is make my 2 shots of espresso, which I mix with water, purified water, so an Americano, and stevia, which is all natural. And then I typically make a shake. I used to work
Mm.
out with a dear girlfriend for many years. Her name's Jen Borman. I'm going to give her a shout out. She's an amazing trainer. And she would, after every practice or every personal training session, she would make me a shake. And it was to die for. I was like, what is this? And it was
Love
like the
that.
simplest formula. And she told me, and now I can make it on my own. So I like to start off with that. I'm a liquid person. Like I could literally just be drinking liquids all day, so I always have my huge Essentia water. Don't worry, I always recycle my bottles. I love a shake and
Yeah.
espresso, and that's how I start my day as far as like what I'm fueling my body. And then I take like, a multivitamin and some zinc and some biotin for hair and nails and all that, stuff that changes as we age.
Yes.
So that's kind of my morning, getting my body going.
Love it.
And what I like to say as a former esthetician, and now just like a skincare expert, if you do a really thorough nighttime skincare routine, your morning routine should be very basic.
Love
You
it.
do not need to put a bunch of things on your face. That's for at night so it can soak in and you can take off, what you've put on for the day. So in the morning, it's literally whether I shower or I'm just doing it in the sink, it's a no hair showering day, right? Me personally, I have several different cleansers. I have a chamomile facial cleanser. Okay.
Oh,
It's for all skin types. It smells to die for. It's a gel, but it foams up really nicely. And it's just a very light cleansing of the skin from sleeping on your pillow, from, just
yeah.
having rested or been without makeup or skincare for 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever it's been since you did your nighttime routine. It's just basically a light cleansing of the skin. Now, in the morning, I like a vitamin C because it gives me a glow. Like if you can see my skin, I feel like is very dewy. And so I have a C stem serum, which is
Mm.
my vitamin C serum. I don't use it at night because I don't need to glow at night. So
Yeah.
I put that on. And then I have a tinted moisturizer, which is not mine. I haven't developed one because I haven't found a formula I like yet. So I have a tinted moisturizer a tinted SPF moisturizer.
Nice.
I haven't formulated one because I haven't found the right,
Yeah. Yeah.
formulation. I know I'm saying the same words, that I really like, and that's at the right price point because price point's really important to me. I always want to be below my competitors. So I have one that I use that's a different brand, but I always mix it with my Ultra Benefits moisturizer, which
Mm.
is It's for all skin types, but it's definitely heavier. If you have oily skin, I have lighter moisturizers. For me, I don't. I have very normal skin. My issues are more anti-aging, fine lines and wrinkles. So this to me gives a lot of, it has a lot of antioxidants and peptides that really are going to nurture my skin throughout the day. So I always mix that moisturizer with the tinted SPF. And that's literally all I have on my skin right now. I don't have foundation. I don't have concealer. I don't do the blending stuff. I've moved so far away from makeup because I do skin. So that's all I have on my skin. I do have blush, I have eye makeup on and some lip stuff, but that's all that's on my skin.
Amazing.
So that's my morning routine. It's
Love it. I love it. And I love that you mentioned, like, if you have your nighttime routine down, like, doesn't have to be crazy in the morning. We love to hear it because mornings can be chaotic. Kids, no kids. It's just a busy time of the day. Do you do anything? And I know you might actually talk about this as we get into more of your like nighttime routine, but do you do anything that's like not product based, but you do for your skin? I know a lot of people, myself included, like to do gua sha or things like that. Do you do any of that? Ice rolling? No?
The ice rolling I like. Now what I do, I'm old school and I've done this for years, is I always every morning after I brush my teeth, I splash my face with very cold water. And I feel like I do tend to have redness in my skin. I'm very fair skinned. And I have a lot of pink and redness. And I feel like it not only wakes my skin up, wakes my brain up, but it just helps calm my skin.
Yeah.
So ice rollers, I'm a fan of. I think if you use it too much, I mean, it's kind of like if you have an injury, and you try to put ice on your skin, they always put like think of the old nurse in the nurse's office at school. They put a Kleenex underneath it because ice directly on your skin can actually cause a burn. So I'm not a fan of the ice rollers unless you're using it very briefly and you're keeping it moving the whole time. But to really like go over and over and over can really irritate your skin. And then the gua shas, I'm not a fan of, again, as I'm aging. I follow a lot of like plastic surgeons and nurse practitioners and skincare experts, and a lot of plastic surgeons, how they talk about like the elasticity of your skin and the sagging, that too much pulling temporarily it can like tighten your muscles, but over long term it can cause those muscles to weaken and to sag more. I don't need any more sagging. I'm already trying to correct what's falling now, right? Try to keep it up with other things. So I'm trying to pull up the skin. That's why I think over massaging, gua shas, like you have to find that balance of really working your skin, but not overworking.
Right. That's like with everything. Yeah.
My daughter has one and I'm like, honey, no.
Yeah, absolutely. No, there's a balance to everything. And ideally those are, I mean, I guess there's different ways that people can do them, but ideally like that should be super gentle and almost like a no pull because it's trying to move the lymphatic fluid underneath. So you're not supposed to be like digging in, but I've seen people that do that.
Or just overdo it too many times,
it's just too much.
Same with the ice, like gently and in the right places where lymphatic drainage, like it is beneficial. But when people are trying to do it to lift the skin, that's where I feel like it's more harmful.
Yes. So share with us your nighttime routine, skincare, other things that you do to help wind down after a busy day. Because a lot of entrepreneurs, your brains are just still ticking. It doesn't ever shut off. So how do you help shut things off?
So, you have to remove your makeup, and that's always my first step, especially with my eyes. And you want something gentle. Sometimes oil-based can be better because it's just more gentle. So you have to remove definitely your eye makeup first. I don't believe in those like just the pad,
Mm,
not the
mhm.
pads, the wipes. I don't
Makeup,
believe
yeah.
those. Like, and then, they don't really, they can be too harsh, and it definitely doesn't get everything off. So I think that can be a good first step if you just want to like, okay, I want to take like the first kind of bit off. The other thing that I practice and I preach is it's best to cleanse your face twice at night,
Yes.
even if it's with the exact same product in the exact same way. When you've put, if you've put makeup on your face, or even just anything you've put on your face, you've been exposed to so many environmental, problems out there,
Yep.
and just there's so much that's happened to your skin throughout the day, whether it's sun damage or environmental damage, or putting all this stuff, or sweating from a workout. Like, your face has been through a lot, and whether you have like a harsh exfoliator or a gentle cleanser, like, you need to do it twice. Now, I have a exfoliator, and I only use it at night because I don't think you need it in the morning. At night, like I said, is when you want to really strip everything off and really like give your skin a break. So for me, I take my eye makeup off, gently with pads, and then I'll use, one of my cleansers from my line, just a regular gel foaming cleanser, and just wash it. And then I'll either use an exfoliator, or I have these awesome little silicone brushes that you can really use as a gentle exfoliator with a cleanser. And they really help just kind of really dig in and make sure your face is fully cleansed. So I definitely recommend doing that twice. And then
Love it.
that's when I think you can put whatever serums on. If you're using a retinol and you've built up a tolerance, you can use it every night. That's the time to use it. When it's nighttime, the sun has gone down, you're not going to damage your skin. You're just going to read a book, look at your phone, watch a movie, talk with your partner, get ready for bed. That's the time to use a retinol. There's also tons of great serums out there, whether it's a hyaluronic acid. I don't use vitamin C at night, but you could. There's
Yeah.
just so many different serums, and that's the time to put something that's just going to soak in your skin for whatever your ailment is or whatever your issue is. If it's anti-aging, that can be a certain thing. If you have dark spots that you want to treat, there's a serum for that. If you have acne and breakouts, that might be the time to put like a salicylic acid serum on your face that can really soak in. And then no matter what, and it's so cliche, a lot of people that have oily skin or acne prone skin, they skip the moisturizer because they feel like a moisturizer is just going to make them more oily, and it actually does the opposite. If you have oily skin and you don't moisturize, you don't put hydration into your skin, it causes those oil glands to produce more oil. Yeah. Because they are dehydrated, because they are lacking that. So finding, and I have one, I'm launching a new acne prone oily skin line in the fall, to put on a very light moisturizer that says oil-free, or for sensitive skin, or for acne prone skin, something that's very light, but it still has moisture in it. You need to put that on, and that's actually not overnight, but after, several weeks of using it, it's going to calm those oil glands down because they don't feel a need to overproduce. They're now like, okay, I'm getting some moisture. I don't need to just like break out and just spew out all this dirt and stuff all the time. I can just bring it out naturally through the cleansing, through the exfoliation, and then get a little bit of moisture to just relax and rest the skin. Because an acne prone skin and breakouts is irritation.
Yeah.
Like, your pores are irritated, they're upset. And so they need to be not treated harshly. They need to be treated more gently, which is sometimes counterintuitive to what people with that skin condition.
Yeah.
So then I love to put on my super amazing Ultra Benefits. And sometimes I use it as an eye cream. I've heard different studies that like eye creams can sometimes be gimmicky, and it's just like another product for people to sell, which is why I don't sell one. Because sometimes you can just use a really nice heavy moisturizer and just use it around your eyes as an eye cream. But if you like them, or you found one that, you know, is just kind of heavier than your moisturizer, and you feel like it is effective, by all means, So I definitely don't think that there's a need for a 12-step routine, but nighttime is the time to really reset your skin.
Awesome. I love it. Outside of skin, do you do anything else to wind down?
Girl, I love my nights.
I know.
Love my nights. And it's like my kids know, like once I'm in bed, I'm done. It might be 7, it might be 9, but I'm like done. So what I've started in my nighttime routine. So I went out, I didn't get married till I was, 29, started having kids at 30, right? So all through high school, all through college, all through my 20s. I lived in Miami, Florida. I partied, I went out, I was out every night of the week. I got all that out of my system. So when it was time to have kids and settle down, I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. I'm fine to stay home and watch some shows and get a good night's sleep. I don't need to whoop it up and go out. So my night routine is literally the same every night. I'm in bed, I'm watching true crime, I'm watching, like so many women, some sort of true crime, cult, serial killer shows like we all like for some reason, and calms us down before we go to bed. I found some different like non-alcoholic, not vitamin drinks, but
I've seen so many lately. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They're like little mocktails that are kind of ready.
Yeah, and I found one called Moment, and it's got like lavender and ylang ylang in it, and it just like, it's something nice, kind of like a tea, like an iced tea to have at night before bed. Just something to kind of like have as a treat. I'm not a big sweet tooth person, so I like to sit in bed. I have my water, I have my phone, I can text a friend, or look at Instagram, send some funny memes.
Love it.
You're going to love this. So I've been researching LED lights.
Yeah.
LED light therapy, right? Red lights. And how effective it is. And this is my newest. I've been using this for a month. It's so amazing. I'm going to show you.
Oh, it's the face one too. Amazing. I've seen those. I have just the light in general, like a medium-sized one that I use, but I've seen the face ones, and that looks awesome. What brand is it?
It is Current Body. So it was a really high-end one. It cost me a lot, but I genuinely believe in like, it helps, with collagen, like restoring collagen. It helps like depuff, but also like, plump up your skin. But this is how I look when my kids come to say goodnight to me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So we put this on. I'm not gonna, and then ready?
I love it so much. I love it. That reminds me of the meme of like, who your husband thought you would marry, and like real sexy, going to bed, and then like in reality, you like are just like, I don't know, doing all the things like that, looking just crazy.
Right? And then you've got your hand cream and you're doing this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I have a very strict routine or anything that's very like strenuous, like, oh my gosh, I go for a walk and then I do this and I exfoliate and I scrub my legs. I just like to get in my bed and get cozy, relax, and do a few nice self-care things like that, which is hilarious, but feels
love it. I love it. It's so good.
Cream, and then my skin's all clean, watch a show. And that's like the perfect night for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm the same way. I love a good book or a good show to help like just take me out of like work mode and go into like la fantasy land, and it just shuts me off so well.
Yes. And I feel like I like true crime, and I'm sure so many people relate to this, because like, it's a story, it's a mystery. It's like something for you to think about, like, who did it? Was it the husband? Was he having an affair? Was she having an affair? Like, what happened? Like, who is this like, handsome guy that comes going through town? Like, it clears your mind from your day to day.
Yeah.
Just think about like something else, like, and try to solve that mystery. It's just, yeah, that's why it's
Yeah.
like relaxing to me.
That's too funny.
The
Yeah, I
handsome
know.
drifter, that's what it is. Was it the handsome drifter, or was it the husband who just took out the new life insurance policy?
Oh my gosh, that's too good. What about exercise? What does that look like for you? When do you do it? What type of exercise? Or maybe none if you're not a big exerciser.
So here's the deal. I started this, I researched this company for a year and a half. And then once I hit the ground running, it took up so much of my time, and I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
And I don't get a lot of support. I get support from my family and from my friends and my community, but not a lot of support from the other half.
Yeah.
So my kids are predominantly with me, and they're always my first priority.
Yeah.
And once I started this business, it just got really busy to keep the ball rolling and to keep, engaging and finding new outlets to reach out to and try to find new audiences. So I was going to this amazing gym that I absolutely loved. Shout out to Grandview Barbell. And I worked out with this trainer, and it was the first time in my life that I've used like heavy weights,
Nice.
like weightlifting, like deadlifting. And I absolutely loved it. It changed my body. It's so different than cardio, but so much more effective.
Yes.
And it made me feel like, having gone through a divorce and being a single mom, and sometimes that can be hard, and you can kind of feel alone or discouraged.
Yeah.
It made me feel so powerful lifting these heavy weights. So I definitely want to get back into it, but right now, like, this business is just taking up all my free time in the most wonderful way. It's such a joy. I really love it. So, but I recommend weightlifting.
Yes.
It's amazing and makes you feel powerful.
I love it. Yeah, same here. And I love it. That's why we interview so many people from different walks of life, different seasons. Some people are in that startup phase like you, or some people have like already, found their rhythm. So that's what we love hearing. So people can understand that there's different seasons of life, and some things fall to the wayside for a little bit, and some things, you hop back on once you get rolling, and it's great because, it doesn't always have to be like do it all or do nothing. There's ebbs and flows throughout the entrepreneur journey for sure.
Right. The owner of this gym, it's a husband and wife, and I've gotten to know them both really well, and I really adore them. So, when Kate, the owner, started noticing I was coming less and less, well, she's a business owner. So when I was, telling her like, hey, I'm really devoted to this, it's taking up a lot of my time. She's like, girl, I get it. Like, you go, you do your thing. We'll be here when you're ready to come back.
Yeah.
And so that meant so much to me that she was supporting me, like, as a female business owner. You got to do it right now. Like, so like you said, like, she understood this is not my season right now. Be at the gym every morning. It's, but when things get settled, when I get to a certain point, then I'll be able to incorporate that back in.
Yeah, I love that. As being like in that startup phase of the entrepreneur life, have you found any like self-development, like books or podcasts that you've really enjoyed and it's helped you, whether it's mindset wise or business? Health, like what kind of comes out to you? Podcasts, books, any resources that you have loved?
Well, the first thing I have to mention is my beloved therapist. I've been with her over 10 years, and she motivates me, right? Like, she helps me through my hard times, but I still go to her when life's going well, and we just work on like, self-improvement and, all the wonderful things in my life. And she's helped me a couple times in my life when I really doubted myself. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. And she's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Look at all you've done. So I really credit her for being my motivator. When it comes to like online, like podcasts, there's a few different people. One for sure is Gabor Mate. It's pronounced different in different languages. He's from Eastern Europe. He is a, some people say Gabor mate, but I can't pronounce it Gabor Mate. He's the child of a Holocaust survivor. So his upbringing somebody that was his mother who had dealt with life and death, wasn't always there emotionally. So he, then later, he felt like he had to work so hard to win his parents' love. So he became a physician. And, so he was like a family doctor for many years. And then he got really into psychology and studying childhood trauma and trauma, based choices in life and addiction. And his take on all those things and how to live your life is so non-judgmental. And he just explains, like, I would recommend watching, finding him on Instagram, watching an interview with him, like anything for 5 minutes. Just, he's so calming. And what he has learned, he gives lectures all over the world all the time, is just like not to be so hard on yourself. And that a lot of the things that we put on ourselves, like, I must have an addiction because of this, like, I must be this way, and not even realizing you're this way because of something that happened in your childhood, and not acknowledging that, like your parents did the best that they could, but they were still hurting you in some way. I'm just using as a
100%.
example. And he really discusses addiction a lot, which I think is so important because our culture, there's so many addictions, right?
Yeah.
There's, drug and alcohol addictions. There's sex and pornography addictions. There's working out, there's food disorders, and a lot of this stuff. And what he gets down to, and I think it's so comforting, is that it's not actually the addiction that's a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and say you identify, I have an eating disorder. Fine, I need to work on that. But what does that eating disorder actually stem from?
Yeah, absolutely.
I drink to cope with the pain. Well, okay, I've identified that, so I'm not going to drink anymore. But now you need to deal with the pain. How do I deal with the pain? So he goes beyond the addiction to talk about the trauma. Like, the trauma is the real issue. So he's so inspiring. Like, when you're having a hard time, or when our culture, our, American culture we're so hard on ourselves. And, like, if we make any mistakes, there must be something wrong with me. And he just really validates, it's our surroundings, it's our environment, it's the way we were raised, it's our coping mechanisms. So he just like makes me feel good and heard and seen. And I love him a lot.
Oh, I love that. I love what you said about therapy. It's so needed. Everyone needs therapy, even if you don't have like trauma. I thankfully don't have a lot of childhood trauma. Don't have any childhood trauma. I'm sure that there's things that my mom that maybe gives me micro traumas, but no major traumas.
We can have a different podcast about that one. Everybody's got childhood trauma.
Well, and of course, like, it's not perfect, but no major traumas, like sexual trauma, physical, things like that. It was very loved. All that. So I'm very thankful for that. And so even if you feel like you're in that, like, I still need therapy, everyone still needs therapy, because as we grow, we change. And obviously our childhood impacts the way that we are. And even certain things that can come up into adulthood, can impact you. And even if you haven't thought about it in like 20, 30 years. So I'm definitely pro fan of therapy for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, childhood trauma could even be, you have two loving parents, but maybe at school you were called fat for years. That's childhood trauma, and that's real, It doesn't mean your parents didn't love you, but that's something that you might carry your whole life, and then later in life have like an obsession with working out and what you eat, and calorie in something because of something that happened to you when you were so young, right? So it's the trauma. So anyways,
love it.
That's like a whole nother topic that I love talking about. I think it's important.
No, I love it. It is so needed. And I feel like, again, we're the younger generation, I feel like our parents were very hush hush about things that would happen, and they didn't really work through any of it. And that's why, obviously it gets passed down. But I do love the younger generation. We're making this normalized, seeking therapy, seeking help, working through it. Physically, mentally, everything. And I just think it's so amazing because, I can only imagine generations from now hopefully being better than, what we were and what we grew up with, because it is so normalized, and I love it. So yes, I so appreciate all the time that you spent with us. So feel free to share, like, where can we find you on social media, your website, everything that we can find about SkinRx?
Well, my website I'm totally revamping it because
Ooh,
I'm ready to take it to the next level. I want more content on there. I want more interaction. I want people to get to know the brand better and have better like guidance and education. So we're redoing that, but it's still up and you can still purchase, e-commerce through the site. So that website is skin-rx.com. And then we're on Instagram and TikTok, and it's the same. It's skin.rx.skincare. So those are our platforms right now. We're ever growing, we're ever expanding into new platforms. Everything this whole first year has been trial and error, and it's all still about development too, right? Making the brand better, making the presentation better, and figuring out ways to reach, larger audiences.
well, I love it. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I'm so excited for your business and what you're doing with it. It's so needed in the industry. So thank you so much.